Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos, another paid request, this time for Jonathan. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, whatever the case may be, PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Arachnophobia, the 1990 film, which decided to watch this again. Big fan of this film, childhood favorite. Thanks once again, Jonathan. And let's get into it. I have a pause at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. So we now have the logo of the studio, known as Hollywood Pictures, which got the nickname The Spinks That Stinks because a lot of the films have bombed, but this was not one of them. This did pretty decently. It made over $50 million. And I mean, nowadays, how much bigger budgets and box office gross potential happens to be, 53 million doesn't seem like much, but pretty decent back in the day. As we see these names coming up, we saw Frank Marshall. This was the first film he directed. He went on to direct Alive, which I don't mind, about the guys in the mountains and the cannibalism, which was a part of it. He also did Congo, which I enjoy. I think that's an underrated one. Eight Below, I didn't mind, with Paul Walker. Stars Jeff Daniels. And there's a couple interviews with Jeff Daniels, one of those, I forget if it's Variety or Vanity Flair. Vanity Fair. I forget it was Flair. God. So much I know about them. But I think it was like Vanity Fair. It was one of those GQ, whatever. If you put in Jeff Daniels roles, they'll pop up. He talks about this, I think, 2 different times. Pretty much, he was doing films that were independent. He liked the scripts, but they did not do well, and he wanted to be in a film that people actually saw. So this came up, and he said he had fun with it. He liked that the production was a lot of people that seemed to know what they were doing. They were professional. And he talked about working in the finale of the film, working with Big Bob, the big spider, and then John Goodman, who's so great in this. Again, if you type in John Goodman roles, you'll find stuff with him where he talks about working on this film. And John Goodman mentions how he liked working with Frank Marshall. He seemed very professional, and he based the character on a biology teacher. And in one of them, he said, "It holds up. Like, the film holds up." And he's honest about his roles, because the next thing he talked about was The Babe, and he said, "I wish that's a do-over movie. I wish I could have another shot at that film." So I mean, he's honest about it. But yeah, this film to me is such an It's weird to say underrated because it did well, but it's not talked about nowadays. But to me, it works. Like, look at this shot, beautiful shot, great score that really opens the film with a scale to it. And of course, should mention Julian Sands is in the helicopter. The warlock himself. But yeah, sorry, I was listening to the dialogue. Julian Sands flicking the ant. 24 hour. What? Means you die in 24 hours. At least if there's enough of them. But yeah, Julian Sands, it's so crazy what happened to him. I mean, this guy goes hiking. Apparently he's hiked many times before. And he disappears. Now, the only thing I heard is that there might have been avalanches around that time. And maybe that's what would happened. But he was missing for a while. Then they found his skeletal remains, and they were able to, with DNA, ID him. And I just because when you think of like actors and celebrities, usually it's okay, they passed away because of old age, or sadly because of drugs OD. Once in a blue moon, it's something different. Murder, things of that nature, which gets more of the when it's more unique of a death, I guess it gets more of a public eye. And I mean, Julian Sands was never considered an A-list actor, but he was a good one, and he does a great job here as the scientist that gets a bit too tears about the spiders and comes to an end near the third act. But yeah, Frank Marshall, yeah, rest in peace to Julian Sands. It's sad what happened to him. But yeah, Frank Marshall. Again, of the films I've seen, this one, Alive, Eight Below, and Congo, I've enjoyed all four. So, I would say this is my favorite, and then Congo, then Alive, and then Eight Below. I think what it is, ever since I saw this back in the day, oh, Don Jakoby and Wesley Strick. Wesley Strick, he worked a bit with Tim Burton on Batman Returns. And Wesley Strick, I think, was the guy that was hired to rewrite the Kevin Smith Superman script that Tim Burton was going to do. Superman Reborn or Superman Lives, something like that. Superman Lives. It was reborn, then became Lives. Then Tim Smith did a pass, and then Tim Burton got Wesley Strick to do a pass. I think it was like Wesley Strick's script they're going to use. I know he's done stuff in the future, but that's what I remember him the most from. Because he was interviewed on that, the death and rebirth of Superman Lives, or Death and Return of Superman Lives. Great documentary. Fantastic documentary. Yeah, but I was going to say the reason I like this film is because it's very well polished. The actors do a great job. You really like the characters, especially Jeff Daniels and John Goodman. Like Jeff Daniels, he's very relatable. He's just the regular normal guy in a crazy situation. You feel bad for him because people are blaming him for stuff when we know it's not his fault. He has a fear of spiders, which I can relate to, where I don't like spiders. I don't know if it's because of this movie, but I don't like spiders. I'm like, I see a spider, gotta go kill it. Even if it's like teeny, tiny, tiny. Maybe if it's a daddy long legs, I'm like, okay, you're very harmless enough. I'll catch you and release you, but other than that, nope, get the hell out of my face. Fly swatter goes down. But how much of this is done practically in camera? How much they used real, actual spiders, which makes it so much more effective. Nowadays, I don't know, they were tossed or remaking this, and they've been saying that for years. It would never work. It would never work because they would just infuse it with a ton of CGI spiders. And no matter how people want to say CGI has grown, it's still going to look like a computer graphic. Because it is a computer graphic. It could be more polished, but it's still going to look separated from reality. You cannot get more real than real, as in using real spiders. I even quite like the practical one they use, the much bigger one. Like right there, even that little bit with all the bugs on the hat, it's real bugs. You initially get a visceral reaction to it. Same when you see all the actual spiders. Especially in the third act, when they're in the house, and you see spiders, hundreds of them, coming from behind the TV, hundreds of them on the walls, and you're not separating, okay, is that good special effect? Is that bad special effect? Is the CGI? I just CGI is not too bad. Now I'm already out of the movie. I'm already out of the story. I'm already out of the illusion. I'm just thinking, how, okay, that's kind of realistic. That's already taking me out. Instead, I'm like, oh my god, there's hundreds of spiders. What the hell would I do in here? I'd be freaked out. Wow. How the hell did they do that? Oh my god. Much more invested in the story and the situation and the predicament that the characters are in. And because it's Steven Spielberg is that they produced it, they definitely had like I said, a polish and a budget to have it look slick enough. And yes, Kathleen Kennedy produced it, but this is when Kathleen Kennedy was pretty much just getting coffee for people, which I hate to say it, she's better suited for, because when she's been given more power, you just look at the results. Star Wars, pretty much dead. Indiana Jones, a, you produced an Indiana Jones film that bombed. I like Part 4. A lot of people may not like Part 4, but Part 4 was a hit. Part 5 bombed. It lost money. Some say up to $300 million in money. Granted, the director is also at fault. The writing is definitely at fault. Many things are at fault. But Kathleen Kennedy, you tried to be the captain of the ship, you failed. It went to the Titanic route. So, did all these bugs and stuff, butterflies for the most part. But one of them is a spider, as we're going to see. Yeah, a new species of butterfly that you killed. Oh, they heard that. That's where we meet our big bad spider here. And of course we find out the relation is that this guy who's the photographer, he's from this small, dinky town. Here's our first jump steer. Of course, he did not quite kill it. Love the up close shots we saw there of like the fangs and the stuff to really sell the illusion of how intimidating they are. Yeah, these spiders are supposed to be dead, but they're not. Pretty resilient. And what's sad is when this film came out on, it came out on DVD, and they even forgot to put the spider on the DVD cover. Like, I remember the DVD. It's like, here's a picture of the moon, and I'm like, what? We're afraid of the moon? A full moon? God, I hate full moons. I mean, how could you make that mistake of putting a damn cover and not having the damn spider on the damn cover? That means they had a poster without a spider? It was like, here's a town, here's a big moon, and then arachnophobia. I'm like, well, what the hell does that have to do with spiders? And then when the Blu-ray, they finally put the spider back on, which is the theatrical poster with the spider right in the middle, which it's a nice effective shot. But no features. There's like a couple little featurettes back to the day that's like 2 minutes long. That's more of an advertisement showing clips. And you have a couple like 30 seconds here or there of people on set talking. But nothing. No commentaries, no documentaries. Jeff Daniels seems willing to talk about it. John Goodman seems willing to talk about it. Frey Marshall, you would think he'd be willing to talk about it because it's his first film. It made money. So, I mean, there are people like me who do enjoy the film. So the fact that they put out a Blu-ray and all this stuff, no features, ridiculous. Considering how many other films do have features, this deserves it. Here's where our guy's going to get killed, and it shows the danger of this one bite and how quickly he dies. Of course, we set up that he's sick, so people assume he died of the sickness. This is another thing we could kind of almost relate to, like if you're sleeping and something so small can crawl out and just one bite, boom, get you. Like if you're sleeping in your bed or sleeping whatever, and you're sleeping, you're not knowing, and then something just go. Psh. Of course, how do we make it more dangerous? One bite, almost like a paralyzing agent, and then death. Now this guy, I know I've seen him in other stuff. I cannot remember where, but I know I've seen this guy in other stuff, in other movies. I think he was in Crocodile Dundee 2. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think he was in Crocodile Dundee 2. Spider's smart. Knew to find a ride. Hitch a ride. That explains why there's big holes on the side for them to put this in and carry it. And that's how you explain how it gets from over there to over here. And Frank Marshall knew like to have some really beautiful backgrounds to show sort of the lush landscape, and then you have in comparison to this quaint little town, even the musical store, like you had more adventurous for the scale of being overseas to now much more quiet, acoustic. Quaint little friendly town. You have a nice wide shot of the town. Well, we're going to get our new doctor. Or you think he's going to be a new doctor, but then the guy doesn't want to step down because he's a prick. That funeral home definitely going to get some business. Of course, this is how we're definitely going to get some business. This is another guy I know I've seen, the guy eating the sandwich. I know I've seen. That's a common trope you see in a lot of these movies where the guy's either a coroner or something to that effect, and he's out there eating a sandwich. I know I think a guy does in Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. At least a lot of movies in this 80s, 90s is like, oh, is the juxtaposition of it's such a vile place, dead bodies, but yet someone is eating sandwiches. That cat's stupid. You got a big pile of bacon and he tastes the bread. What are you doing, cat? Why the hell will you not take... Like, okay, of all the things you don't take to the sandwich, you're not going to take the bacon? You don't take the bread? Guess the cat's like, this is bigger. Yeah, but it's bread. The other stuff is bacon. Take the bacon first. What are you doing? What are you doing? Here we go. Nice practical effects. See the guys dried up. So, Just the idea this thing's been feeding like a damn vampire for a while. And of course, it's like, hey, Steven Spielberg's producing it. We can't kill the dog and we can't kill the cat. Dog gets the hell out of there. Cat gets the hell out of there. And then you see the spider. See that right there, even that's a bit eerie. But would you kill a bird? A bird is fine. It's like, okay, no, you can't kill the cat or dog. You gotta give me the bird, though. You gotta give me the bird, okay. Because you gotta find a way for it to... The bird grabbed it, wanted a bite to eat, but picked the wrong bug. Picked the wrong arachnid. Now, of course, throughout the years, there's been a lot of... Well, not a lot. There's been a few movies dealing with spiders. There was... Oh, real quickly, that's... Is it Harley or Haley? Jane Kozak. I think it's Harley. Harley Jane Kozak. I remember her, she was Ken Wall's girlfriend in The Taking of Beverly Hills, which I thought was a fun action film that I thought was a bit underrated. She's done a lot of other stuff as well, but that's what I remember the most from this, as well as The Taking of Beverly Hills. It shows a common trait how when the guy got bit, he had a bit of blood coming out of the mouth, and even that bird, it was nice detail. They had a little bit of mouth blood coming out of its beak. I mean, there are spiders that big. I mean, you could go on YouTube, you find spiders as big as like a puppy. I think one I saw was like in Australia. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what you guys are feeding spiders in Australia. Is you feeding blondes or brunettes? How did they get so big? Of course, the setup of the wine for the end there. You see how that's a good callback later on. He's throwing the bottle, not the chateau. He puts it down and throws the other bottle. The wine cellar he's excited for is going to be his possible coffin by the end. It's like, hey, it's the country, you gotta deal with it. And it's like, okay, come on, it's the country, we gotta deal with it. Now let's go find your mom and let her do it. So now we're establishing his fear of spiders. Of course, this is much more quiet and quaint. And you see, like, the mom and the daughter are perfectly fine with it, but Jeff Daniels, you see him backing right away. But I was saying, there's been quite a few spider films throughout the years. There's the Great Spider Invasion, which pretty much, at certain shots, I think they took like a car and they put spider legs and stuff on it to make it move. It's one of those films that it's kind of funny to watch in a bad way. There's some entertainment. Not a good movie at all, but at times it's kind of fun as a bad movie. But if you watch the trailer, you don't need to see the movie. And there might have been a few others, like of a giant spider. They're really nothing to do with small spiders, because would not know how to handle them back in the day. How to control them. I would say probably the William Shatner film Kingdom of the Spiders, which I like that film. Yeah, Shatner as the lead. Yeah, some recognizable people in the supporting roles. Definitely an interesting ending with the... Well, I guess I won't give it away, but the last shot's definitely a what the fuck moment. But It's interesting when you watch Team of the Spiders, you just see a lot of spiders die during the making of that film. Like you see, like they put like hundreds of tarantulas on the road, and you see that there's people stomping on them. You see cars running them over and stuff. Pretty damn sure they're a little bit more careful with that. See, for me, I'm like, I don't like spiders, but if they leave me alone, I leave them alone. And I guess this shot is kind of the keep in tune of, I guess, Mr. Billy Bad meets a mate, and they do the horizontal fandango, and they're going to create a lot of baby spiders. So, I just, this is how the two, when Harry met Sally, two fell in love and they decided to fuck. And right off the bat, we feel sorry for Jeff Daniels' character. Like, this guy said, I'm going to retire, got his family to move here, all this other stuff. Now he's like, oh, so now he's like, how am I going to make money? How am I going to find a job? What am I going to do? And here we have the sheriff, Stuart Painton, which I've seen him in quite a few other stuff. Last time I saw him was in Fatal Attraction as a co-worker of Michael Douglas's character. And the guy who plays the sheriff here, I would sit there and go, why does his voice sound so familiar? And then I looked it up. Remember that TV show Dinosaurs with Jim Henson? He's the voice of the lead, Earl Sinclair, the dad of the family. I'm like, oh my! I didn't even realize that this guy, again, the sheriff here, is Earl Sinclair, the head, the voice of the head dinosaur, that TV show Dinosaurs, which has one of the weirdest finales. Which is a comedic sitcom, but it has like one of the darkest finales of any show I've ever seen. I mean, X-Files had a lighter ending than this. Millennium had a lighter ending than this. Probably Twin Peaks as well. It's there's an ice age coming. The family huddled up, and they're kind of kids are wondering if they're going to survive. And you see that the parents are like, they're trying to appease, but you get the idea that they know they're ready to die. I don't understand why the hell they wanted to end it that way. That's one question. If I knew anybody on that show, I would ask them, what the hell was that about? It's one of the reasons I don't rewatch that show, because I'm like, what's the point? It's like, the build up to this really depressing ending. That'd be like if Elf ended with, he was being, his chest was opened up and they're looking to his organs. Yes, there's a to be continued, but at least you could say Project Elf came out and there's him at the government facility, he gets out, then he's fine. At least there's that. What are we gonna do? Kill him? Kill him? What are we gonna do? Kill him? And Jeff Daniels, he plays a I say an affable, likable, normal guy, easy to root for, and it's not a whole lot of times he'd have to be the lead in a movie. Which again is why I'm not surprised he was willing to talk about in those interviews on YouTube where they, again, there's at least two of them where he talks about the roles he's been in. Just like I said, I didn't say he's a co-star. Well, he's a co-lead in Dumb and Dumber. In a way, this helps start kind of the, as he put it, he needed to be in a film people actually saw. This kind of started that streak where, yeah, this film, you had, I mentioned Dumb and Dumber, Speed. I'd actually like to look up all of Jeff Daniels' films and what all he's been in. Just before this, he was in films like Terms of Endearment, The Purple Rose of Cairo. But right before this, he was in films like Heartburn with Jack Nicholson. He was in Radio Days, Woody Allen film, The House on Carroll Street, which I guess he was a star in that. Sweetheart's Dance, Checking Out, which that was the film he starred in. But then Arachnophobia, then after that there was The Butcher's Wife, Daddy's Bird he was in. He was in a film called Time Steep, which I remember there was a different title to that movie. Grand Tour Disaster in Time. He did that after this. So, I mean, Arachnophobia came out, and I guess he did a couple films. He was a bigger name in. Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael with Winona Ryder and Jeff Daniels. I never even heard of that film. But like I said, Speed, Dumb and Dumber, the live action 101 Dalmatians, Pleasantville. But it didn't help that he starred in a couple films that did not work. Trial and Error with Michael Richards, My Favorite Martian with Christopher Lloyd. Chasing Sleep, psychological horror, but it's predictable. You know where it's going. I forgot he was in RV with Robin Williams. The Martians, that was the last one I saw him in. The Martian, I liked that one. That was pretty good. The Web. I think also a lot of people could relate to Jeff Daniels' character here. Is like, you want me to look at the web? Screw that. I'm not looking at the web. Leave me alone. Sorry, I'm listening to him describing his. Now, I don't know how the hell he remembers this as a baby, because I don't remember Jack Squad when I was a baby, but I guess if maybe if it was something like that, maybe it's something I would remember, but Tell you one thing, this definitely let people know what arachnophobia means. I mean, you probably guessed from the title, but at the same time, if you didn't know, this would definitely teach you what that word means. Sorry, I'm also emailing someone at the same time, so if you wonder why I'm typing, that's why. Just how it goes. Yeah, that, I mean, I wouldn't go up there. It looks creaky just by, without even having to touch it. I wouldn't be near it. Screw that. Unless it's with a flamethrower. Like, give me a flamethrower and I'll do it. Yeah, if that happened to me, I would never go in that barn again. In fact, I would take a flamethrower and burn the son bitch. Like, nah, I'm good. You see all this food, now you just imagine like a spider's gonna be in. Now, this lady, I know I've seen her and stuff. She was in the Mouth of Madness. She was the older lady, which then you find has her husband chained up, and she's like chopping him. I think she was also in Critters 3 as one of the tenants of the place, I believe. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, look at all these spiders here. Like, just have real ones. And you see the number of them scurry out into the distance. It just gives you the heebie-jeebies. It's like, ew. Like, you can't get more real than real. If that was just a bunch of CGI spiders, it just would not be nearly effective. Now that guy there in the black with the white shirt underneath, that's Peter Jason, who's been quite a few John Carpenter films. Sorry, I keep having these silence bows. I'm listening to the dialogue because I think there's some like funny, quick wit and reactions from the people. Because I do think the cast is a big part of what makes this work, and that's one of the things of. There's a recent Spider film I reviewed, which didn't mind. Other people did not like it. It was called Stun, and I liked it for what it was. It was about an alien spider that landed and was in this apartment building, and or was it called Steen? Steen or Stunt? No, Steen. Yeah, because I made the stupid joke of it's not the wrestler, and it's not the singer, so Steen. Yeah, Steen. Stun was a different movie, but Steen, and as I was looking it up when I was typing, I did an alien spider lands, and you're in this apartment building, and things of that nature happen. I liked it because I thought it was well directed, it had some good camera work. I liked the stepdad in it, but the characters could have been a lot better in that, as well as could be a lot wittier in the pacing. I mean, I didn't mind it, but there's issues, and nowhere near as good as this film. Because you see this film, and they hit the better notes in terms of the comedic bits. Even this bits here, like the up close as a spider, just a nice eerie feeling. Again, use a real one. You can't get more real than real. And it's like, because they're so ugly and they're alien looking as is. And the fact that they're so small and they could be anywhere, they could be, I think she turns the light off and it comes down and hits her hand, and because they could be everywhere, because they could be every nook and cranny, it keeps you paranoid on edge, like even your own home. My friend Mike OCP has I just kind of the joke where each time he watches his film, he'll look around, he'll see like another spider in his room. Each time he sees this movie. Thankfully, so far, I don't have that problem. So far. Yep, there it is. There's a spider. And it's also not fitting, but the fact that like the first victim is like the nicest lady, and it gives much more animosity for the viewer against these villains, because these creatures, these spiders, because again of the town. How do I put it? I didn't, because it's a lady that's so sweet, so nice, so understanding. You feel instantly bad for her. And that's the thing, like, this is a character that's not a major character, but because of her acting, they made her such a generous but not too melodramatic, that like, oh man, she didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve to die, that type of thing. It makes you hate the villains, and then when he gets blamed, it makes you root for the hero more, and all that other jazz. That's where Jeff is gonna eventually find her body. I thought the director did a nice job revealing this as well. How First off, cat's still alive, so again, don't kill the cats, which I appreciate. Didn't kill the cat earlier, don't kill this cat, appreciate it. But what I'm talking about with the reveal where we're still outside and the camera pans and we see his point of view, we just hear him rushing in. So we get the gist of what happened here, and you just feel bad about what happened. Like I said, the fact that, the first victim in the town is this very nice, kind lady. Like I said, you just feel bad and makes you want these spiders to get their comeuppance even more. Well, I'll speak for myself. And again, because she was a patient, now he's going to get blamed more, and you feel bad, and he's called like Dr. Death or something. But it's kind of like they had this balance where, like, the one who didn't deserve it, but then the guy who does deserve it, he'll be the next victim. So you get this kind of roller coaster. You feel bad, but then when this guy gets it, you kind of root for it. Like, yeah, that guy deserves it, that sumbitch. And you can tell that Jeff Daniels, like, his character knows a lot more about medicine. This guy knows a lot more about being a doctor than this guy. This guy, his head is so far up his ass. His nose is damn chandelier for his vital organs. God, what a prick. What a prick. And that's the thing is, you have to have characters you care about, you're interested in, you find likable. Because a lot of these movies, you'll spend a lot of time with the characters. It's not going to have wall-to-wall action or creature feature material. Again, there's another nice aspect in the writing where you have a person that actually, does care. Like, there's a person that, a lot of times someone dies, then you forget about them as if nothing happened. But the fact you have a character go, she was really nice to me, I feel bad. But then, of course, you got the great John Goodman. I love the theme they said. I love the theme they made for John Goodman's character. My favorite John Goodman role. I wish he was in it more. Because it's like 40 minutes in, he finally enters the proceedings. I wish he was in it more. But when he's there, he shines. And the little harmonica part of the... Just the fact that he bases on it was a biology / gym teacher. He's like, yeah, I thought he was pretty funny, so he based it on him. And the fact like, would it be okay if I tear the whole floor down? I'd have a problem. False alarm. I would. False false alarm. Lead on. Bad wood. bad wood. Take out the bad wood, put good wood. Tear out bad wood, put in good wood. So anytime I can't help it, anytime I see John Goodman, I just smile, especially in this role, in this performance. And now that I think about it, there was a video game based on this. It was for the Amiga. I forget what else, but yeah, there's a video game based on Arachnophobia. But yeah, I'm surprised they only had it for Amiga. I mean, usually, if you have like a video game based on a movie, not all the time, but it's like, okay, you don't have it for, in this era, would be Nintendo. I wouldn't have mind that, a Nintendo game of Arachnophobia. But no, instead, it was like for the Amiga and such. Then that wasn't too crazy of a thing. I mean, there was the Running Man, that video game, that was for computer. There was a different Predator game that was for the computer. Different from the one that they did put on NES. Yeah, you tell Jeff Downs is not what he thought he was going to be coming here for, to be a doctor. But yeah, Jeff Downs' character just has the worst luck. Like this whole thing here, and then Spire going to the helmet, and someone dies in the football team. Just the worst of luck. Again, that's why I liked is that like that right there with the spider, the fact they're so small, they could be anywhere. And it's like all stuff that's relatable. Like you're in your home and you turn off the light, or you're just watching a game, you're in the stadium, and it could be under you, it could be right next to you. Again, that shot we saw earlier, that you saw an actual spider going down on the web, you're sitting there going, how the hell did they get that shot? Like that shot there, like I don't know if they took a spider, they tied something and lowered it down, or they just wait for it to. I would assume, like, how do you get a spider and then don't crush it and tie something and then I guess maybe lower it down? I guess that's what happened. And they're so small is that they can easily escape and you won't be able to see it until much, much later on where they see the spider bites. But I mean, you can't really blame the doctor for this. They see what the doctor did. All he did was, what, cup their balls or cough? That's it, cough. So the coach was there. It's like, all the kids did was cough. What, he's got a virus that only... The body count is piling up. I mean, it's a horror comedy, but they came up with this stupid thing, a thrillomedy. Like, what the hell is a thrillomedy? That was a good transition. That was... The camera rises up, you see the dead body, and then then it turns into a coffin. And it's the funeral. That was an interesting transition. And Frank Marshall, like, that was a nice choice. That type of transition. From dead body to coffin. This is where the kids are saying, people are saying, you're Dr. Death. I would say you take these two kids and you power drive them for being so disrespectful. So yeah, There you go. Jeff Daniels, he wants to have an autopsy, but this doctor's against it. Because if you have an autopsy, maybe you find some kind of poison or something else going on. And find out. And that's where this guy definitely deserves what he gets. The spider's like, oh, I took a ride on a treadmill, yee. But that's just like, how do you like get the spider to climb up and go into the shoe? Like, how the hell do you do that? I know there's spider wranglers, but you can't teach a spider what to do. Do they put food in there? But even then, how long does that take? Well, okay, we put food in the shoe. Hopefully it'll climb up, and hopefully it'll get in that shoe. Like, how the hell did they do that? It seems easy, but it had to have been pretty damn time consuming. Now, you would think that this lady would tell them, oh, before he died, a spider bit him. So this lady didn't do her due diligence. I mean, that's pretty funny. It's like, oh, he's having a seizure, and she's like, well, thank God you didn't examine him this morning. Yeah, obviously he doesn't take the sheriff seriously. Who would, though? Okay, the wife did tell. Okay. So I was wrong. I forgot that the wife did say that. Okay, that's good. That's good. Appreciate that. I think this. See, I think the script is pretty good script. Bit underrated. Sorry, I'm listening to the dialogue. I apologize. Alright, now he's the town doctor. I guess people aren't calling him Dr. Death as of now. Damn, that place seems pretty damn stacked. Oh yeah, this is setting up the photograph so when Julian Sands sees these, he'll see the spider webs in the barn and will lead them to going down there. See, again, you look at this script, and again, it's been a while since I've seen this, so because I've seen so many other films written more poorly, I just went in and assumed, oh yeah, she's not going to tell that there's a spider bite. No, she does, because that's what should happen. That's what a smart character would do. And then they looked at the spider bite. They go, okay, wait. Right before he died, he got a spider bite. What's up with this spider? Okay, I want an autopsy. Oh, wait, there's something toxic? I want those bodies dug up. Hey, Sheriff, you want me an idiot? Piss off. I'll go above your head. I want those bodies looked at. And then hey, Jeff Daniels, I mean, underrated actor. Yeah, I think this is where he warns them about spiders. Which, I mean, that's what a father should do, so he's 100% sure, but he does warn them, just in case. Because he's responsible, he's a good parent, he's a good adult, and of course people don't take him seriously, but they should. You know, with those looks you give him, maybe you should die. And then you'll see he was right all along, you little turds. Well, when the spider kills you, we'll see who's laughing now. Be laughing at your funeral. But yeah, this came out in 1990, which was a great year for movies. I mean, you had Tremors, another film that had a wonderful script. Great underrated script, Tremors. You had the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you had Total Recall, you had Die Hard 2, you had The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. A lot of films I do quite enjoy. Of course, a bit of suspense. Now, I mean, granted, because it's like produced by Steven Spielberg and such, you're thinking, okay, they're not going to kill the kid. Even the doll don't like spiders. Even the doll's steered, opened its eyes. But again, look at that. Like, that's a real spider that they're lowering down. How the hell they do it? I guess they didn't buy a wire or something. I don't know, they have a wire attached to the back, I guess? I don't know. And it does a good job with the suspense. Again, if that was all done with CGI, it would not be nearly effective. Because, okay, for example, look at The Mummy. I enjoy The Mummy. But are the scarabs really scary? No, it's just a bunch of CGI running around, and you could tell. Is it like a cricket jump scare here? It's like, where's all your friends? Something like that. Yeah, it's like a cricket or something. Which I don't blame him. I don't mind crickets either. Cricket's like, hey, I was just wanting a bite to eat. Okay? Don't kill me. Don't leave me alone. That is the thing to consider. Like, if there's that many spiders, that means they would have been hungry. They would have eaten all the other crickets. Is that egg sack? Yes, Julian Sands once again. Like I said, sad what happened to him. Very sad. So again, I apologize if there's moments of silence. I'm listening to the dialogue and stuff, and again, sucked into the movie. Just actually care about the movie. Like I said, it's a child favorite of mine. Like he mentioned, because it has likable characters. It has very creepy moments, especially if you hate spiders. the way they handled all these real spiders and got them to do what they needed to do, the crawl where they needed to crawl under the bleachers, crawl in the shoes, and you're wondering how the hell did they do that? But it took a lot of time and effort and a bit of luck as well. And good cast. Score fits the film well. Like I said, it is a horror comedy, not this duality BS. Because at this time, it's like they were scared of calling stuff horror. I guess they thought horror means bad box office. So, Silence of the Lambs is not a horror, it's a psychological blah blah blah, where it's a thriller, fatal attraction thriller. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. But it has a lot of tones of horror, maybe a bit of, maybe not slasher, but a bit of horror. But it's like, no, you can't call it that because Silence of the Lambs is not horror. This isn't horror. It's like, okay, whatever. And I call it horror comedy. But I guess they thought through comedy, then it'll fool people not knowing it's a horror. This is Brian McNamara, I believe his name. Brian McNamara. I liked him too. I thought he did a good job as his assistant who becomes an ally for our characters. Short Circuit, I saw him in. Short Circuit. He was the Ali Sheedy's boyfriend who Johnny Five takes his car and wrecks the car and tears it apart. And then tries to shoot Johnny Five. Johnny Five's blocking all the bullets. I think that's the same thing. They find the bites here. This guy's still eating. They don't find a second spider bite. Three spider bites, 3 victims. There you go. Sorry, I'm going to listen to the dialogue here. This is another nice sort of fake out where, and this is relatable too, because there are times where you look at a wall and it seems like something, like right there, that does look like a spider. You're wondering what the hell, and then you find out what it is. You go, oh, okay, of course it's that. But there are times where you're kind of, it's late at night or it's the shadows play tricks on you and you see something, you go, oh shit. But granted, I mean, I think it might be cheap because that does look like they put a fake spider up. But I don't know, I mean, I have to see the end of the scene. I know it's supposed to be like where your hand close up and it's supposed to be like its shadow. Yeah, and here's the reveal. Yeah, because that right there like didn't look like the same as we saw earlier. So I don't know if that was like just a cheat where we're going to put a fake spire, then we get closer. Oh yeah, it was this door. Like, oh. That's a funny bit they put in the trailer as well. Well, you could If you find a spider, you go arrest it. That's relatable to where you feel something, especially when you're on edge and the slice touch, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I fell for that. To me though, I'd be like, okay, if this is the truth, I would have like some kind of gloves or something to extend and look at stuff like from a distance, something. Especially on the hands, like some type of like thick glove, something that hopefully will bite through something. Now, of course, I remember that the dead spider's in here, so are we to assume it crawled in there and then. Yep, there you go. What word killed it? The shock of seeing Lloyd? Oh, this is definitely another one that gives the heebie jeebies. Both the shower and the toilet, because you have the shower here where, granted, there's a bit of like, how can you not feel it on you? Like, when it goes on her face, how she doesn't feel that, I don't know. But just the idea of like you're in the shower and all of a sudden there's a spider and it's like this part is a bit like it's pretty creepy when it's on the side there. Okay, I can see there's a bit of wire on there. Especially that toilet bit. That crawls to the toilet and it crawls in and it's like, oh, you didn't check the toilet. It comes up just bites you on the ass. See, that's the one that gets me there. Yeah, like that. I'm like, how do you not feel a spider on your face? But it's definitely like, ee, shit, you know. Crawled right into the dam, right down the drain. If something jumps on my head, I'm gonna feel it, even if there's a bunch of water on there. Ooh, that's a hell of a jump the Spider-Man had. And the guy that Trevor Rabin did the score did a nice job having like an uneasy feel to the scene to be hopefully suspenseful for the audience. They, I don't think I have that transmitter. There you go, psych. And Jeff plays that well. He plays it not too over the top, not too goofy or silly, but a guy who's afraid of spiders, especially one that could kill in one bite. I'd be feeling that way too. I mean, it says a lot about John Goodman's character that he's not in this a whole lot, but he made such a big impression for people, including me. Just his demeanor, the the way he talks, just gives off very likable, very funny. And you see that it seems like he's incompetent at first, like he misses that spider, but he says there's a little spider here. I love his like theme music they give him. Shows the spider's a bit more resilient than you think. Okay, that's how you don't know I'm gonna step on you, sorry ass. I read it that like they made it where there's a big hole in the shoe, so when he steps on it, it doesn't really didn't really kill it. Like there's a big hole, so when it goes down, it like does like this, so it's just curled up until you step off and it goes away. Because then you see that cut where you see more of the press to go up, and you see the remains sticking. And then you might seem incompetent at first, but he pulls through at the end. Rock and roll. Yep, and there's the connection from Venezuela. Not one or two, but three poison sets. Will definitely make it more potent. This poor little mouse. What'd the mouse do to you? Feel bad for that mouse. You see, you don't see it. I just, hey, we don't want to make it seem, I mean, you can fake, and then you just have a practical effect. But just like, how do you make a mouse like make it seem like, and then dead? Especially if something that small, because if you inject it too much, it could die of overdose anyway, of whatever anesthesia you could give it. So. South American male. So it's a short life cycle. Great to see John Goodman again be a bit more into the story, into the plot. Like I said, that's one of the few issues I have with the film is I wish John Goodman was in this film more. I mean, you say this could be the more is less, or less is more. I should say the less is more, where because he's in it very briefly from time to time, it makes his scenes about that much more memorable, stick out in a positive way. But just I would like to see even more of Jeff and John working together, rapport with each other, back and forth with each other. Just would have been nice to hear a lot more, see a lot more of those two play off each other. Just a few bits here there is pretty entertaining. But yeah, it's nice that John Goodman's now going to be much more part of the story going forward. Like I said, this guy, I know I've seen him in other stuff. I cannot remember, though. I think Tango and Cash he was in? I think so. Let's see, it's don't bother me, so now. And you feel a bit bad too, because they seem, nice and kind couple. But just reestablish how much they eat, so don't be their downfall. Yep, there you go. I think it's Roy Broadsmith is that guy's name. He sadly passed away in 2001. See, okay, that guy was Roy Broadsmith. And he was in Scrooge, despite the mailman. Yep, he was in Tango and Cash as the federal agent who was working with the bad guys. Total Recall. That's right, in Total Recall. He was the guy with the sweat pouring down, and Arnold shoots him in the head. Total Recall, of course. Also 1990. Recall, recall, recall. And Frances Bay was that older woman of the Pritt doctor. Frances Bay, that was the one who was in the Mouth of Madness. She was the grandma in Happy Gilmore. This is a great reveal with the spider coming out of the mouth. Ew. Oh, and the nose, that's what it was. Even worse. But I guess they put that in there, the short lifespan, because even if they kill the main thing, you'd be wondering, what about all the other spiders? Well, they can't reproduce by themselves, and they have a short lifespan, so you don't have to be under safety of quarantine and wait it out until they die in their short lifespan, so they bring that into the plot to explain that portion. For after the movie, you wonder, well, again, what about all the other ones that spread out through town? Could be anywhere. And Julie Sand's character got to curious for his britches. Sally be the death knell for him. You think about buying here. Sorry, I'm just getting lost in the film now. This is fun. No. I do. This is what I'm talking about, the rapport between Jeff and John. What was that he says? A web would indicate arachnoid presence. Just drive, Dylan, just drive. But really, John Goodman was right. It wasn't in the barn. It was in the wine cellar. So he was right. I can you can definitely see why Jeff Daniels thought that way. But John Goodman was right all along. It was not in the barn. It was in the cellar, the wine cellar. As John Goodman says, a bit too drafty. Oh, I think, was that a cat in the web? So I just finally they had to have a cat die. Look at that. What is that, a bat? He's a damn bat. Well, other than the cat, you say, damn, they're good with pest control. Alarm. You think this guy would know better? With all these spider webs, he's not thinking, yep, there you go. That reminds me of John Goodman. Oh, they got the professor. Which I don't know why. Ever since I was a kid, for a split second, I'm thinking the professor from Gilligan's Island. Obviously, you know, that guy, but... here's him getting his... Again, they think it's in there. He's going to get his... Do his thing. Get the family out of there. I would say fuck going slow here. Just say, there's a fire, get out, there's a fire. And just get the hell out of there. But, you know. Did I say trick or treat? Yeah, trick or treat. Sorry, now I'm just repeating lines and stuff from the movie. Definitely got some potent stuff, the acid there. I'm at least glad they didn't kill off his character. Yep, there you go. Damn, look at all those spiders. Got Family Ties rerun going there. See, right then and there I'd be like, hey, get up. Maybe outside. Got an emergency. None of this lolly-dadding around. But of course they had lolly-dad because they had him trapped in the house at some point. But I'm like, let's get the hell out of Dodge now. Let's go. Oh, one's going to be 2, 2's going to be 4, 4 going to be a lot more. So I was talking about, look at that, look at all those spiders coming out of, ugh, Jesus, look at all that. Like you look around, you just imagine like all these oh, visceral reaction for the audience. Just the amount. And then like from, I swear like the back of the There's like back to the TV when he flips it. Yep, right there. Part of me is like, well, you just kick the door open? Yeah, and when it only takes one. He's lucky that thing didn't bite when it landed on his face. Oh, there we go. Damn. So they're already inside. Just come out of the woodwork. Come on, kids, move your ass. Cheap ass place going right through the damn door. Doorknob. Ooh, especially that with like all of them come out at the same damn. Yeah, swarming like a damn. Like all those spires like leaning down. Like damn. Damn this poor guy. I mean, you definitely be more like if it's only one bite, you definitely be more cautious because all it takes is one bite, and here we go. Here's the man of the hour. Rock and roll. Which I know in the trailer, he yells it out. I think in the movie it works better. That it's a lot softer. This poor guy did bad luck, crushed right through the dam. And we set up that the floor is rotten, so that's why he's able to crash through the floor fairly easily. So he does a good script. We set up the rotten floor, so he's able to crash through easily. We set up the stuff with the wine cellar, the little argument between him and Goodman. Goodman saying it would not be in a barn. We set up that no spiders would be there because they're cannibals, so he would not want anyone in the nest. That's why now the little spiders are down here. And people made fun of this finale, saying, "Oh my God, the big spider is so unrealistic and looks so stupid." And I don't know what people are talking about. This maybe my favorite scene in the movie is the battle, especially with the little flamethrower and the way that's filmed. Love that stuff. It's locked, right? Yeah, it's gonna be locked. And this poor guy, just saying, this guy was afraid of spiders, just in the worst predicament ever. Oh, just the way this is all set up, the claustrophobic, damp environment, pretty much lit by just like one light bulb. I love the way the frame marshal did the camera work, like pushing in. I think he turns and it does the same. Yeah. So this paranoia of which direction it's coming from. Yeah, even though you're in this confined environment, it gives a bit of a bigger scale to it. I think he fries that, right? Yeah, fries that. But we're not done yet. Just think that was the queen, I believe. But now you got the general, the head bad guy, the male. It's a big ass egg. Those be surprised a face hugger comes out of it. Like I said, this doesn't need to be a remake. Have a special edition come out with get Jeff Daniels, get John Goodman, get Frank Marshall. Get these people to talk about it. See if you find like the Spider Wranglers. Get the people who made the effects of the General. Get all these people involved. Let's have a good special edition. Hell, do it on a 4K then, if that's the case. Have a new 4K. There's a big dot the I's, cross the T's of special edition. Some of these other movies get it, and it's like, what the hell is this movie? I've never heard of it. Curse of the Blue Lights. It's like a big documentary. What? Yeah, act like this stuff is very, very heavy. You can't get out of it. I think this is a bit when he's throwing the bottles. Oh yeah, he hits it. Hey, this is gonna take Cracker Jack timing. There you go. Got it. Yeah, this is when he's like throwing the bottles. There's one. Yeah, not the chateau. No, not that one. And this is my favorite part of the scene. This bit of flamethrower fun here with the can and a little lighter. And the music definitely fits well with the proceedings. And you see how smart this thing is, just hiding where it needs to hide to protect itself. I thought the effects looked pretty good, especially for 1990. That one shot, you see a hint of it looked a bit more puppet, but I could deal with that. Yeah, this shot here where you see, okay, shoot the fire right into the camera. Yeah, and you see the eyes of the spider and the reflection. Yeah, that's really cool. I think he says, yeah, he goes to the opening. It says "Itsy Bitsy Spider." There you go. Like that little detail, you see that there's still spiders up above. I would keep that up there forever. I would never put it down. He's lucky that thing didn't. Yeah. This is reminiscent of what he said. What was it? When he was a baby, he saw the thing crawling up at him, and that paralyzation, that fear. But he's able to overcome and survive. Granted, the spider was smart, would just bite him on the ankle, right there. His foot, the shoe's not covering. But just spider just has an ego of its own, I guess. It's like, I'm gonna take care of you one by one, right on your neck, right on your lip, your nose, your face. Just waiting for the right moment. He's like, yeah, this guy's nothing. Waiting for the right moment. Gonna take Tractor Jack timing. Whoopsie daisy. Aw, damn, there's the spiders coming. It's like a nail gun or something? Yeah, because he used a nail gun before. There we go. Get that nail gun ready. I do like that the nail gun like has they did the sound of like a damn revolver, 6-shooter, Magnum. I don't know if nail guns have like a Magnum sound to them, but it's a great shot and a great way to kill your main baddie. Cinematic, fun escapism. Great shot, right into the damn 8-sack. Yeah, John Goodman definitely took care of business. Like, screw this country stuff. We're going back to the city. I think the last thing they do is like an earthquake. It's like, I'd rather deal with earthquakes as killer spiders. Poor San Francisco. There you go. I just like, nope, we're not going to give this country life a second chance. Back to the city. There's the chateau. Oh yeah, and he saved it, and then it gets spilled by the damn earthquake. So it's like he saved the chateau all that time and gets wasted on this damn earthquake. At least he got one taste of it before it all spilled out. That was just a little one. I think they get a minor tremor and they're like, oh no, not the chateau, the stuff he wanted to save. Not only that, but his glass as well. His glass and the damn chateau. Damn. Damn, William S. Beasley got 2 credits off the... I don't remember this song. I guess I never really stuck around for the end credits. Not Crawling, Free Falling? Yeah, I don't know if I ever listened to this song before. I mean, it's not an awful song, but I'm like, maybe that's why I didn't listen to this song a whole lot. So was this a song specifically made for the movie? Don't Bud Me. Take Me to the Town. Kind of don't skip to the end. I want to see, like, what's the name of this damn song? Check real quick. So it was shot in Cambria, California. Some bit shot in Venezuela. Let's see. Summer Wind, Frank Sinatra, so it's not that. Blue Eyes, Sensitive to the Light. I Left My Heart in San Francisco, Tony Bennett. Don't Bug Me by Jimmy Buffett. Huh. I didn't remember that song by Jimmy Buffett, Don't Bug Me. Well, I guess it fits with the proceedings, so there you go. But yeah, that's Arachnophobia. I mean, that's a film that I still got a lot of joy watching it again like I did back in the day. Just a lot of fun. It's likable characters, strong writing, creepy crawlies done for real, using real spiders. I even like the practical effect of the general at the end. Easy to root for lead character. Fun supporting characters like John Goodman's character. Still an enjoyable film. Still a fun movie. Deserves a special edition. Again, John Goodman, Jeff Daniels seems like they're open to talking about the film. Deserves a lot more than it's gotten. But anyway, that's my thoughts on Arachnophobia. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.